Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is time for the second book haul video from one shopping trip. So, obviously I am in the same top I was in for the last one, so I was able to get the next one filmed on the same day. Yay! I'm trying to stay on top of it. So, so this is going to be in honor of upcoming Hauntober, more of a supernatural book haul. So I very well may start trying to read and reread some of these before October, just because, you know, we want some spooky stuff, some supernatural stuff, some super fun stuff, right? Right. So we're going to start off once again with Nora Roberts, but again, this is a series. It's a trio of books, and I have all three of them. Technically, I could have gotten all three of them with the same cover binding, but I did want to get one that was different so you could see what the two styles were, because you know, every so often they'll redo the cover art and things. So this is the Three Sisters Island trilogy. The first one is Dance Upon the Air. Sorry, there we go. So as you can see, there's like the house in the background and like a little ferry, and it's very clear that it's on an island somewhere. Oh, description is on the inside. When Nell Channing arrives on charming Three Sisters Island, she believes that she's finally found refuge from her abusive husband and from the terrifying life she fled so desperately 8 months ago. But even in this quiet, peaceful place, Nell never feels entirely at ease. Careful to conceal her true identity, she takes a job as a cook at the local bookstore cafe and begins to explore her feelings for the island sheriff, Zach Todd. But there is a part of herself she can never reveal to him, for she must continue to guard her secrets if she wants to keep the past at bay. One careless word, one misplaced confidence, and the new life she so carefully created could shatter completely. Just as Nell starts to wonder if she'll ever be able to break free of her fear, she realizes that the island suffers under a terrible curse, one that can only be broken by the descendants of the three sisters, the witches who settled the island back in 1692. And now, with the help of two other strong, gifted women and the nightmares of the past haunting her every step, she must find the power to save her home, her love, and herself. This is a series I'd actually read previously. As memory serves, they're the descendants, obviously, of the three witches. And they each have a specific wrong that their ancestor had done that they have to correct, and it is mimicked in their life now. So these are the reprint arts, or I think these are the latest print, 2000 and looks like 2001. When was this one? Sorry, I'm being all nitpicky over here. Oh, let's see. Okay, so it says like the initial copyright, but it doesn't have the actual print date on them, so go figure. So this is Heaven and Earth, which is the second installment. I actually kind of prefer this art a little bit better just because it's a little bit more vibrant. It's jewel tone. I love jewel tones. So, but Ripley Todd's job as sheriff's deputy keeps her busy and happy, and she has no trouble finding men when she wants them, which lately isn't all that often. She's perfectly content except for one thing. She has special powers that both frighten and confuse her. Distraction soon arrives in the handsome form of McAllister Book, a researcher who's come to investigate the rumors of witchcraft that haunt Three Sisters Island. Pardon me. Right from the start, he knows there's something extraordinary about Ripley Todd. Fascinated by her struggle with her amazing abilities, he becomes determined to help her accept who she is and find the courage to open her heart. But before Ripley and Mac can dream of what lies in the future, they must confront the pain of the past. For Three Sisters shelters centuries of secrets and a legacy of danger that plagues them all still. And then the third and final book in the Three Sisters Three Sisters trilogy is Face the Fire. It says, Mia Devlin knows what it's like to love with your whole heart and then watch your love walk away. Years ago, she and Sam Logan shared an incredible bond built on passion, legend, and fate. But then one day he fled Three Sisters Island, leaving her lost in memories of the magic they shared and determined to live on her own. As the new owner of the island's only hotel, Sam has returned to Three Sisters with hopes of winning back Mia's affections. He is puzzled when she greets him with icy indifference, for the chemistry between them is still sizzling and true. Angry, hurt, and deeply confused, Mia refuses to admit that a desire for Sam still burns in her heart. But she'll need his help and his powers to face her greatest, most terrifying challenge. And as the deadline for breaking a centuries-old curse draws near, they must take the first step toward destiny and come together to turn back the dark. So it's a really good series. Obviously, as with any other series, the first book is going to be a little bit more slow, and then from the next book on, it will start to pick up because you do have to get that groundwork in there. But it was a really great series, and I think it'll be really good for Hauntober. And then next, this is not the first in the series. I think this is like second in series, and it is Dark Highlander by Karen Marie Moning. This one, it's got time travel, it's got druidry, it's super fun. So, it says, I am Dagius. If any of you out there in Ireland or Scotland know how to pronounce that, let me know. So I'm Dagius McKeltar, a man with one good conscience and 13 bad ones, driven to sate my darkest desires. I cannot talk today. From his penthouse lair high above Manhattan, Dagius looks out over a glittering city that calls to the darkness within him. A 16th century Scot trapped between worlds, he is fighting a losing battle with the 13 druids who possess his soul, dooming him to an eternity of sexual pursuit. When Chloe Xanders, student of antiquities, is drawn into his world, she finds the insatiable alpha female an irresistible lure. Before long, she is caught up in an ancient prophecy that will sweep her back into time to medieval Scotland. Plunged into a world of timeless magic and dark seduction, she will soon face the challenge of a lifetime, fighting 13 evil spirits for the heart of one irresistible man. Again, this is from a series I've read before. I really enjoy her series. They're really good. And even though they're a little bit more mainstream, you can find them at most stores, they are a little bit different than your standard grocery store romance books, so to speak. So, next up is two books from a series by Christine Warren. I am desperately trying to find the other books. I'm sure I could order them from Amazon, but what's the fun in that? It's more fun to go to the bookstore and find them. So first one is One Bite with a Stranger. And I'm going to point out, I love this cover art because you have that really nice fiery red, you know, both in the hair and in the writing. It's super fun. So, when Regina's friends insist on setting her up on a fantasy fix to help her get her cheating ex, or to help her get over her cheating ex, she dreams up some kinky out-of-this-world encounters that they could never possibly bring to life. But the next thing Regina knows, her friends have got her laced into a skinny black corset, tight leather pants, and a sexy pair of stilettos. It's time for some downtown vampire fantasy fun. The vampire ball in Manhattan's East Village isn't really Dimitri Vidam's, I think that's the pronunciation, Vidam, idea of a good time. But as a member of the council that governs the others, he has to keep an eye on all the young vamps who prey on the pretenders. After he feasts his dark eyes on fiery Regina at the bar, he knows he must have her. But for the first time, Dimitri meets a woman who is more than a match for his indomitable will. and he may be the fantasy Regina hoped for until she and her feisty friends discover her new sexy lover's blood-sucking secret. Now, there is another book after this one, before the next one, and that is called Big Bad Wolf, which I've already listened to the Audible for. I've actually listened to the Audible for this one as well. I do prefer Big Bad Wolf. I just found it a little bit more fun. But that one is super fun as well. There's a lot of comedy in it. And then this one is Prince Charming Doesn't Live Here. So it says, Denise Carter is not one for glass slippers. A stilettos-wearing lawyer at one of Manhattan's most elite establishments, Denise has a very strong grip on reality. So when she's asked by one of the firm's founding partners to take on a personal case, Denise knows she's in for the opportunity of a lifetime. All she has to do is convince her top boss's granddaughter, Rosemary, to file a paternity suit. Sounds simple enough, until Denise arrives at Rosemary's home and is pounced on by a handsome stranger. I don't know how I'd feel about getting pounced on by someone I don't know. Private investigator McIntyre Callahan was only following his powerful client's orders, find Rosemary, at all costs. Instead, he's found a super hot lawyer prowling around looking for answers he can't give. The half-human, half-fae Mac tries to warn Denise that she's in way over her head, that Rosemary may roam among the others and may have dangerous ties to the unseelie court, but she won't be deterred, even if that means following Mac to the ends of the earth to find Rosemary, or surrendering to his supernatural powers of temptation. Until death do they part. So, from the two that I've already listened to on Audible, it seems like a super fun series. And I'm looking forward to reading that one and hopefully finding Ava's. I don't know if Ava got her own story, but the next three are a little bit more on the comical side, but they are definitely fun for Hauntober. Let me see which one. I don't know if these are of a specific order. It says, I'm the vampire, that's why. It's super cute. It just looks like typical soccer mom except for the fangs. So it says, Broken Heart is the city with the highest rate of divorce and highest percentage of single parents in Oklahoma. Why would you want to move anywhere named Broken Heart if the statistics are like that? Just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. And I, Jessica Matthews, have been a member of that club ever since my husband dumped me for his 20-something secretary and then had the gall to die in a car accident. Now I'm just a single mother trying to make ends meet in this crazy world. I'm also a vampire. One minute I was taking out the garbage, the next I awoke sucking on the thigh of a super hot vampire, Patrick O'Halloran. But though my stretch marks have disappeared and my vision has improved, I can't rest until the thing that did this to me is caught. My kid's future is at stake, as is my sex life. Once a vampire does the dirty deed, it hitches her to the object of her affection for at least 100 years. I just don't know if I'm ready for that kind of commitment. I don't think anybody's really ready for that kind of commitment. I mean, 100 years is a long time, even for a vampire, I would think. And then this is another from the same series, Because Your Vampire Said So. And these are by Michelle Bardsley. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So, not just anyone can visit Broken Heart, Oklahoma, especially since all the single moms, like me, Patsy Donahue, have been turned into vampires. I'm forever 40, but looking younger than my years, thanks to my new unlifestyle. And even though most of my customers have skipped town, I still manage to keep my hair salon up and running because of the lycanthropes prowling around. They know how important good grooming is, especially a certain rogue shapeshifter who is as sexy as he is deadly. He's up to his neck in danger. The stress would kill me if I wasn't already dead. But my maternal instincts are still alive and kicking, so no one better mess with my flesh and blood. Seems like a fun series. And this is one, I don't know if it's a series. I'm going to venture to say probably based off of the fact that it's a supernatural book. But it also looked really fun, and it's called The Accidental Werewolf by Dakota Cassidy. And it says, Marty Andrews is having a bad week. First, she's bitten by a mangy mutt while walking her teacup poodle. As a result, her her salon-perfect blonde hair begins darkening by the day to something that's so not her color wheel. Her mood swings have turned her into the hormonal Hulk. Worse yet, the hair on her legs is growing at a rate even a body slam into an entire vat of wax couldn't cure. Last and most important, her dream job as a sales rep for Bobby Sue Cosmetics is going to hell in a handbasket. The only high point is Keegan Flaherty, the drool-worthy man who shows up at her door. Of course, he's clearly insane. Keegan claims that he accidentally bit Marty, and since he's a werewolf, she is now too. Red meat cravings aside, Marty refuses to believe a word until a kidnapping makes her realize there's more at stake than her highlights. And she must put her out-of-control life in the hands of the man who makes her blood run wild in more ways than one. So, I mean, I'm going to point out, I love this cover. It's super fun. And I love the use of the purple instead of just black, white, and gray. So that is the second installment of the book called From One Trip to the Bookstore. The next one is all going to be part of a spin-off series. So there's definitely be something of a theme. So I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.